Welcome into the latest edition of Extra Time. Thank you as always for your tweets. I didn't get the memo today, boys. Both dressed in black, looking very smart, very elegant. Shaka, not as much. After the post-Messi era, do you guys think that Barcelona are going to be a team like the current AC Milan team?
Ooh.
Harsh.
I'm going to go. Not as bad as AC Milan, no. They will struggle. It's quite clear that without Messi, this team is just above average. So I don't see how they continue to compete at the top end of La Liga. And when I say that, I mean just in comparison with Real Madrid. But they're not going to do a Milan. No, they're not.
No. Frank?
Nah.
No, I agree with Shaka. I think on top of it, they have a good academy. So they have good young players who are gonna show up and compensate. Not, of course, the retirement of Messi, but they compensate the loss of some players. We are still looking for them. I mean, Xavi, Iniesta not there anymore. We don't see the Barcelona we saw a couple of years ago. But definitely, like with what's his name, Ricky Puig, we're gonna see young players showing their talent.
At the end of the season, how long did you take off before getting back into training for the next season? Shaka, I imagine you made the most of your time off.
When after the final whistle went for the last game of the season, that was the end until my manager said it was time to show up for pre-season. Whatever time that is, that's what I took.
Shaka, final whistle went. Were you literally on a plane to Trinidad and Tobago at the end of that day?
At the end of that day. Maybe Sunday or Monday.
Frank, how much time did you take off?
What a shame, Shaka. I thought you were a real professional player. Because I was involved with the national team and most of the time we had tournaments at the end of the season, I would say that I had mostly like 3 weeks off. But after a week or 10 days, I was starting to have some jogs, you know, like just to make sure that the cardio doesn't go that far and make sure that they don't come back with maybe 1 or 2 kilos too much. So yes, I was giving myself like a week or 10 days off.
Indicator as to why. We've got a World Cup winner and Shaka. Frank.
And no, that's the difference between a player on the field and the goalkeeper.
Right, okay. None of the goalkeepers train. They're all lazy like Shaka.
Just move on, Dan. Let's just
Definitely.
Move on. Let's just move on, please.
Frank, is there any difference playing left or right centre-back?
It is, depending on if you're lefty or righty. Yeah. I played with Marcel Desailly on the left side, and I think I play on the right side with Steve Clark. So, yeah, it's when you play on the right side and you're right-footed, it's much easier than playing left side with being a right-footed. It's why when you have a combined two centre half with one lefty, one righty, it's perfect. But yeah, it's different because different of angle, different of position, and you have sometimes to use your bad foot. So for me, none of them, because I was very good with both of them.
Frank is I didn't realize Frank was such a show-off, you know. Where's Dan gone? Where's Dan? Dan's gone. Where are you, Dan?
Dan left.
Dan,
did
back, Dan.
we lose you, Dan?
There we go. I'm back. Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
You're here.
I'm here.
We were saying
Sorry,
very
my
nice
batteries
things
ran
about
out.
you.
The batteries in my IFB ran out during that, so I have no idea what your answer was, Frank, but I'm sure it was as fascinating as ever. Right, next.
That was very good, and we were saying only good things about you when you were off.
Well, you certainly
Don't
did
worry.
not say that about me when
He
I'm
said
on.
goalkeepers were the hardest trainers in pre-season.
Oh, really? Yeah?
That's what he said.
That's what I missed. Okay.
Liar.
Here we go then. Time to upset some people. Start with you, Shaka.
You have new batteries?
I've got my new batteries in. We're ready to go.
All right.
Better Premier League forward in their prime.
Ooh.
Drogba. Van Persie. Aguero.
And you're starting with me?
Yeah, let's start with you.
Well, if I had to pick one, I'd go with Aguero. I also hasten to add, though, the single best 90 minutes I have played against as a striker was Didier Drogba. 1 year we played Chelsea at the Bridge, and Ferrer got sent off after 10 or 11 minutes. And Didier Drogba was simply unplayable for the next 80. I've never seen one player dominate a game, one striker dominate a game and dominate a defense like that. But if I'm running my own club and I'm buying one player, I'm leaning Aguero.
Who were you playing for then, Shaq, at the time?
The mighty West Ham, Daniel.
Weren't Ham of the Year that year, no?
4-1 with 10 men.
Frank, which of those three?
For sure, I go for Drogba. I mean, that guy, I followed that guy in his beginning when he was playing in Le Mans, and after in Guingamp. I talked to Marseille about him and the fact that he had a great future, and he definitely had, and he was a threat. I mean, the year that he played for Marseille and after for Chelsea really amazed me. The power that he had. After I would go for Aguero, and Van Persie. It was a fine striker in a way that he had a finesse comparing to the others, but it's less a type of guy that I like. I like the Aguero, that he doesn't give up, that is hard to cope with. Same than Drogba. It's different with Van Persie.
I didn't know you didn't like Van Persie, Frank.
He hates Van Persie.
I never said I didn't like Van Persie. I never say that. Don't play the
journalist. You don't like his personality. You don't like his Dutch. That's what I
No,
heard.
I said he has a finesse, but not same power as Drogba and Aguero. Don't put words in my mouth, please, Dan Thomas.
He said Van Persie's a soft touch,
Yeah.
and isn't strong enough to last in the Premier League. That's what I heard.
Yeah, that's exactly what I heard as well.
Oh my God.
He doesn't like his grey hair either. Okay, it's a good question actually. Frank, is defending set pieces really that difficult?
Well, it depends if you defend in zone or if you defend with individual marking. I always thought that if I was one day, and it would never happen, a coach, I will make sure the players are responsible and they will get a man each. But because I was so clever when I was playing, I wasn't marking players. I was on the near post, close to the 6-yard box to cut the curve of the ball. So not responsible for anything, anytime. Very clever.
Shaka?
I like how Frank says, because I was very clever when I was playing, as if to suggest that ever since he retired, the cleverness is left.
Well, he's working with us. His brain cells have definitely gone.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Dan. We have a tendency of dragging people down.
Yep, down to our level. Soon he won't know his left from his right.
That's right. That's why he was so good with both feet, because he didn't know. He didn't know which one was left and which one was right.
Someone's asked, did Stevie keep talking after the stream ended last night? We got Stevie basically telling lots of old stories about the old doctors at Liverpool and about how they would have a whiskey at 9 in the morning and about how things have completely changed to when Stevie broke his jaw and they just put a wet sponge on it and then put him back out to play. Shaka told some tales as well. Frank, did you experience similar things?
Well, yes, I remember being elbowed in training on the Stamford Bridge and getting needed 6 stitches on my just here above my, just below my eye, and they put a little bit of ice. They put an injection, and they did that close to the training pitch. I was very amazed that he did very well, and we don't see it, but a strange way of doing it. But you know, when we arrive in England with Vialli, Di Matteo, and Zola, it's true that sometimes we look at each other and say, are you sure they invented football? Because, I mean, they don't really seem to take it seriously, you know what I mean? Where we try to nap, we try to stretch, we try to make sure that we have a massage, that we warm up properly, when those players, British players, don't really care. They just go for the fight, and they're happy too. Remember seeing John Terry training with short sleeve. And of course, when we saw the medical staff, they were absolutely fantastic people. And Mike Banks and some other people like Terry, the physio. I mean, they were absolutely fantastic. But I think they didn't have the help of the machines, of everything. That was very amateur. Yeah. But we were okay with that. We dealt with that. Comparing to now, of course, it's different.
Final question. Since we have an ex-goalie and centre-back, what was the worst error or miscommunication that you had with your goalie or defender? Specifically, a Shaka-strophic moment that you can laugh at now.
Oh, jeez.
Does anything come to mind, Frank?
Oh, man.
Oh, me? Yes. I was playing for the national team, and during the coach speech before the game, he said to us, the guy avoid to give the ball to the goalkeeper because the pitch is very bouncy, so avoid that. And after like 10 minutes, I turned and I gave the ball to, it was Letizy, who played for Paris Saint-Germain and Nice. And he controlled the ball, it was okay, but after he tried to take on the players and missed it, and we conceded the goal, and I felt responsible for that. Yeah, that was a real mistake, because I should have kicked the ball in the stands, and we lost 1-0 against Russia in a very frozen, bouncy field.
But it's not your fault that the goalkeeper was an idiot.
No, I should have, no, so that's my fault, because the coach said don't give him the ball, and I gave him the ball. So that's my fault. I take it.
Shaka?
I can only think of one specifically, and this is back when I was playing for Newcastle. I remember we played away to Nottingham Forest, and I can't remember what season it was. Late on, ball over the top, I come chasing out, centre back comes running in, he has a swing at it, I pull out, we both just miss the ball ridiculously, and I think it was Brian Roy. Dutch fellow who used to play for us, just walks in and taps the ball into the back of the net. That's the only one I could really remember.
Oh, that's still one, Shaka.
Yeah. I'm sure there were a lot more.
That is it. Thank you very much. Robin van Persie, our special guest on the show tomorrow. It'll be interesting to talk to him with Frank. We'll be looking back, of course, at Real Madrid in action, and it's that Liverpool against Manchester City game as well. Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.